Wanasema mkuki kwa nguruwe lakini kwa mwana Adam ni mchungu sana. Yes, let's come back to Kenya. Politics are lighting up and the fire is burning hot and hot on both sides. They are taking casualties in terms of abuses and feeling the weight of the abuses in the public. The president has gone hot on the opposition leaders who have been abusing him all along. He says for the 3 years that the opposition have been abusing him, led by Rigathi Gachagua, who is the former deputy president of Kenya, who was impeached by the very president. President William Samoei Ruto. And in the past 3 days, it has been hot. There is in the public rallies, political rallies everywhere they have gone. They have been sending insults against each other. Started with there is Rigathi Gachagua saying that President Ruto ameanza kukonda, he's thinning up or he's losing weight. And the only thing that is remaining on him is the ears that are big enough. And he says he's not going to sleep, but he's going to send more and more fire on his side to make sure that he doesn't have peace for the next, how many months, 18 months before the general elections in 2027. And President Ruto did not just take it easy. He came back with his own, accusing Rigathi Gachagua of unaliving the brother and taking the inheritance, the brothers' inheritance. There is the brother's property and wealth from them, denying the wife of the brother and the children of the brother from getting their rightful inheritance. He also accused him of giving botched death of a woman called with that name. And Rigathi came in and said, no, that is right. And all these are things. If you're talking about people being impregnated, that it's something that is happening around and we cannot stop that. I don't know if Rigathi was accepting the fact that what President Ruto said was true or not. Okay, you viewers will come and tell us. You'll tell me in the comment section, was Rigathi Gachagua accepting that what President Ruto said was true, that he was involved in the death of someone? That I might not be able to mention over here, not because I'm afraid, but because I'm just okay with that. I don't like mentioning people's names on that. And came in the person that we call Junet Mohammed, who has also sent his wave of attack missiles that is against Rigathi Gachagua. Also body shaming Rigathi Gachagua. Are men really body shamed? Do we say that men are body shamed? We don't say that. Okay, sending his sending a couple of missiles, abusive missiles against Rigathi Gachagua, and we are waiting to hear what Rigathi Gachagua will say about that, because that comeback must be so great. Okay, to Joho back along the coast, Rigathi Gachagua again sent whatever he thought would be some of the truth that he speaks in the public against Joho, but Joho came in fire blazing and said, you know what, Rigathi Gachagua, whatever trick you're using has been used in most of the elections, so it's not something new. You need to come up with something different and use it against me. But we are ready for this. We are ready for you, and we're ready to fight this to the end. And what is really surprising is this: the president and his army are onto refuting that there will be no politics within the church or in the church, or the pastors and the clergies should not give politicians an opportunity to use their pulpits as a stage for politics. But going back 2 years before, not even 2 years, during his second term, during the Ruto era, President Ruto was ever in the church, donating in the church and giving whatever he can give in the church to make sure that pastors are well kept, churches have money to run their duties and all there. And this subject came in, and he defended himself and said he cannot stop supporting the work of God because that is where he came from. So I don't know why he feels so bad when these other people go in the church to use the church as a pulpit, of which I don't fully support. I don't fully support. If I had a place or a building that I call a church, I wouldn't have allowed any politician to come in and use it as a pulpit to send insults to the other politician. No, that is something they should meet in whatever place they can meet, or call each other and square the problems out, personal problems out, or rather using the public as a tool or as a way to measure or a way to vend whatever difficulties or whatever differences they have with the other person. Early in his term, not really this year, but early in his term, that is during the President Ruto and Gachagua time, again, people brought up these issues of the church being a place where money of corruption is, okay, they're taking a lot of money that people called corruption money to the pulpits. And still, President Ruto came in and defended himself against them and said he cannot stop supporting the church because that is where he came from. And he continued doing that. We saw bundles of money, bags of money, brown envelopes. Um, Moving from one church to another because he believes that he should support the church, of which is a good thing, supporting the work of God. Everyone would want to do that, of which you're not saying that it's bad. But where it becomes bad is when we use those pulpits to start insulting other leaders and being so more personal, getting into more personal issues, personal or private issues against those people, but we can utter them in public and in those pulpits, in those churches. I think that is where everything is going wrong. And today you've heard him talk about that. It's like the clergies and the pastors should not give these people an opportunity to use their pulpits as a form of trying to clear their messes or to abuse other leaders within the country. So the question is, who is who? If it's working for you, you clap. But if it's not working, if it starts working against you, or if it's not working for you, you feel it should be stopped. All of them are using the church as a pulpit or as a platform to express their ideologies. The only person I have not seen using the church and as a pulpit in this era, though he's not so much actively involved in politics, is the former President Uhuru Kenyatta. I have not seen Sifuna using the church that much. And today, that is Junet Muhammad who said that let's not use the church, let's meet outside here, tulimane vizuri venye tunajua, but tusilimane kwa makanisa, of which I would really appreciate that if these people can use their outdoor political rallies to abuse each other as much as they can, but not use the church as a place to express their personal opinions and their undirected whatever feelings that they have against each other. They can meet and talk. And another thing I believe that the leaders in Kenya are really messing into is why should we become so much personal to a level that we are parading our dirty linens in the public? We can meet and talk. I believe these people have phone numbers. They can call each other. They have each other's phone numbers. They can call each other and talk. Wherever they feel there's a problem, they can smear and finish that one within their private circles and not use the public to express their own grievances against each other, which is not a good thing. But one thing I'm so happy is that even though all these things are happening, the young people have waken up and they are taking a better course and to make sure that the country is getting to the right direction. Maybe to finish up with this, I'll say this. Tuko Kadi initiative or Tuko Kadi movement, it's an initiative or a movement that have been initiated by young people, the Gen Zs. For long, they have been saying that the Gen Zs don't vote and they won't even determine who becomes the president in 2027. And now the Gen Zs realized if they don't play a role in whatever is coming, they will blame themselves when it comes to 2027. And because they don't want to blame themselves, they came up with this initiative to Kokadi. This means that every Gen Z, wherever they are, they have to go and register as a voter and get the voting card and prepare themselves to vote in 2027. And most of these Gen Zs are talking about one term, one term. That's the song they're singing. There are some who are singing two term, two term, two term, but majority of them are singing one term, one term, one term, meaning that they are going into to make sure they are bringing change in this country. But this thing has been hijacked by elite politicians. They are singing the same card. Is this to confuse the Gen Zs? And will they manage to confuse the Gen Zs with them grabbing or hijacking the Gen Z's idea? I believe the Gen Zs are so smart enough that they won't be bought easily with these people. We've had them in several places where politicians have gone for to do their politics and all that. They've issued out some money to these people, and young people say, "Kama pesa ni ya bure tutakula." But when it comes to 2027, we know whoever we are going to vote, and I believe that should be the spirit. So, to the Gen Zs around the country,